Hi, in today's episode, like you've seen in the thumbnail, we have Godfrey and Simon from the Teso community. Personally, I did not know anything about the Teso. I've known the people, I know they exist, but other than that, I don't know anything. So I invite you on a journey to come with me and learn who the Teso people are, where they come from, their history, the culture, the traditions, and much more. If you haven't yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you don't mind, hit the like button and share the video. I'm sure you know somebody this video will interest. Let's start. Godfrey, you're welcome. Simon, you're welcome. I know who you are, but the diaspora, my viewers, may not know who you are. Who is Simon?
So Simon, my name is Simon Edicut. I am an Iteso born in Komi. I grew up partly in Soroti and in Kampala. So Eyala Mano Ikatunga Anyonesikere. I greet you all. So I live here in the United States in Massachusetts. I work in the biotech industry and I've been here for about 6 years now. So that is Simon Edicut.
Biotech. Isn't it the same industry you're in, Godfrey?
Yes,
Yes.
Oh,
that's
okay.
correct.
So is it by coincidence, or did someone pull one? Did one help the other to get there?
No, I think it's coincidence because we just found ourselves in the same industry. He was there first.
He was there first.
Yeah, then I joined later on, yes. I've been there about 2 years now, not a very long time.
How long have you known each other?
Probably about 3 years now. Me and him.
3 years. You've
Yes.
joined biotech for 2 years. That's more than coincidence. Who is Godfrey?
Thank you so much, Brian. My name is Godfrey Ojimam. I'm an Iteso. I come from Ngora. Previously used to be Komi district, but now it's a new district. Ngora is a new district on its own. I live in Massachusetts, and I've lived here for about 15 years. I work in biotech industry as a research scientist.
Scientist.
Yeah.
I hear about STEM. What is that?
STEM it's like nurturing, whereby people are given opportunity to go and learn and discover new related ideas in science. So it can either be in physics, chemistry, biology. Yeah, that's what STEM means.
So you guys have an organization.
That's correct. Yeah. So we have an organization called Iteso of North American Association. In abbreviation, it's called INAA. It's a registered, dual-registered organization, non-for-profit. It's registered with the Secretary of State, Massachusetts, and it's a new association. It was formed last year in 2023. After the Iteso community came together, it conveyed in Chicago last year, and then we decided to register it. It has all the structures built in it.
We know that the biggest Ugandan population in the US is in Massachusetts, right?
That's true.
Does that apply to the Iteso also?
I don't think so, though what I know, we are almost everywhere, every corner of North America. And the reason, we also have our brothers in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
those whom we know. And that's why even we decided to call it the Iteso of North America, not just particularly
What
the
is the
US.
organization supposed to do?
So before he answers that, I think maybe let him state what he is exactly in the organization,
Yeah, sure.
because I think he missed out that part.
Yeah, so I'm the chairperson of INAA. I was elected by members, and yeah, as a chairperson, I'm entitled to try and run the organization according to its future plans. And by doing that, I'm not just going to do it by myself, but we have a leadership team that was elected.
Okay.
So we work together as all Itesos to see that we can spearhead the vision of the organization.
How long is your term?
So according to the constitution, it provides someone to lead for 2 years, but again with another opportunity to contest for another one. So basically, someone is entitled to serve 2 years with another chance. After that, no more Kisanja.
You have term limits.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes, we do. And also, maybe let me add on something else that I forgot to include in. The association itself, it's non-for-profit, it's non-partisan, and it does not subscribe to any religion. And there is a reason for that. We are trying to be neutral. You know, sometimes when people hear that you say that the association does not subscribe, let's say, for example, in any religion, people take that association to be not God-fearing, not God-serving. No, but the reason why we are doing that, it's because we are trying to open our doors to everyone, regardless of their faith. The same applies to being non-political.
Non-political.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as non-political?
Yes, you can have your own opinion, but you don't have to incur your opinion on others. So when I say I'm non-political, that means I'm not subscribing to a specific party. I'm open-minded and I'm open to work with anybody.
So you're not influenced by any outside politics,
No.
just your politics within the organization.
Yeah, so I think what he's trying to say is yes, you're free to join the association, whether you belong to any
Political
political
power.
organization. You do not have to fear maybe that the organization belongs to this particular political group. But the word non-political is, I think, is that's what he meant. But because politics
It's everywhere.
is everywhere,
Yeah.
and
The fact that there is an organization that's
that
politics.
has leadership,
Yeah.
yes, it's already politics, because even the way we were elected, that was already political.
Yeah.
But I think what he was trying to mean is that the organization does not discriminate whether you belong to, if you're a Democrat here in America or a Republican, or if you belong to the NRM or People Power, National Unity Platform,
Or FDC.
UPC,
yeah.
FDC, doesn't really matter. I think that's what he was trying to say.
And also to supplement on what Simon has said, we do not want to subscribe ourselves into a specific political party, because if you do that, that means you lose the agenda. That means you are going to be influenced. So that's why we try to avoid that.
And what have you done to make sure that the organization doesn't slide into any politics, or any outside politics? Is it something that you have embedded in your constitution?
Yes. If you read our first statement, if you go on our website, it will just tell you. You just read it. It will say INAA is a non-for-profit organization, and it's also non-political. So before someone who chooses to come in, that's the first thing we tell him. We are not prohibiting you from participating or believing into something, but put it in mind, you're not going to influence the association. It's all about being open to someone and standing your ground and following what the Constitution says.
Speaking of roles, what are the roles of the organization? Why did you start it?
So,
John?
yeah,
Okay.
I'll go first. So, mainly, the major role of the organization is just to bring the Iteso people together. That's the major role. And by bringing us together, you know what it means working together. It means you can be able to solve a number of things. Obviously, the aim is that we can metamorph into something bigger and better. We could either get into business in the future. We haven't done that yet. But mainly bring the Iteso people together such that even when you get a problem, for example, here in America, you know that you can run to a certain particular organization and then you can get help there. That's one. Two, like I said, we will probably metamorph it into something that does business too. But when you do something together, you do it better than doing it when you're just one person.
Okay.
So the other thing is we need to get to know each other. We have so many Iteso people here, but we don't know where they are and we don't know each other. But so when we look at the first convention that we organized last year in Chicago, we got to know so many people who were in different states of America, and we came together, we got to know each other, and we knew where we came from, so many things. So the other thing is, sometimes, you know how it is maybe in Uganda, you could easily end up marrying your relative, but because you don't know them. That's also one thing. We trying to, like, by getting to know each other, you take away the risk of, you meeting somewhere and you're probably somebody's daughter and you don't know, and you're probably sisters and brother. So you take away that risk because you know each other, you know where you come from. So it's the bringing the people together. That's what's really important.
Yeah, so thank you, Simon. So in summary, the objectives of forming this association was based in unity and cooperation, trying to unite all the Iteso in the diaspora, especially here in North America. That was number one, uniting them and then see where we can cooperate with each other. And then number two was to promote our culture and heritage here in the diaspora in the United States. We don't want to have our kids born here and then they speak English. We don't put much emphasis to try and teach them their local language because maybe we also speak English with them. But that's how we see we can promote our culture, by teaching the young generation our culture and language. And then number three is we wanted to liaise between the Iteso here in the diaspora and also with the government back home. When I talk about the government, that means it's like local leaders, like the kingdom, the state of Uganda, the embassy. So we wanted to be like a liaison between the Iteso here in North America and also back home in Uganda. And then also another thing, when we migrate into this continent, we find ourselves lost. So the role of INAA is to try and help to resettle those who have just immigrated, give them support. That's number one. Then also another thing is the objective is to try to see how we can be a bridge between the Iteso community and also other Ugandan local communities that are here in the diaspora who are willing to work with us in spiritual and mutual respect and friendship. So those were the main objectives. And then also social economic support, and also coming up with better ideas that can try to uplift Teso region. That's very, very important. We only don't want to prosper here, but we also want to prosper back home. But the only way we can do that is if we work together, we come together.
Do you intend to have like a list of members, or whoever claims to be Iteso will be automatically a member? How are you
The
keeping?
Constitution outlines that if you are to join a member, one, you have to be an Iteso. Two, one of the patterns has also to be an Iteso. Let's say I'm an Iteso, my wife is another tribe, automatically she becomes a member by the virtue that he or she has married an Iteso. Then number three, the kids too, whether adopted or not, regardless of one of the parents being an Iteso or not, they will also automatically become members. And then there are people who can become members as well-wishers, for example, as supporting corporations too. You don't have specifically to be a person, but if you're supporting corporation that is willing to abide by the rules that govern the association. So there are structures outlined in the Constitution.
So I can become an Iteso.
Yeah, also just to just to add on to that, yes, you asked about the list. Yes, we do keep a list of members, and actually starting this year, you actually have to pay subscription fee to the organization as a member. And the main role of the subscription fee is just to support the organization activities, which include obviously things like, we're going to organize a convention this year and stuff like that, just to keep the organization moving. So yes, we do keep a list of members. So if you willing to join, we'll register you. Yeah.
And do you have a fee in mind already? A membership fee?
Yes,
Yes.
we do. This fee was suggested by the members when we conveyed in Chicago last year. So an adult will have to pay $200, and then anyone below 18, and if a student, they will have to pay $50. So that's the fee. You're an adult, you have to pay 200. If you are less than 18, from 11 to
18 to
yeah,
17.
It's that's
$50.
And if you're an adult and you are also a student, you will pay 50. There is a reason for that. When you're a student, we try to give you that opportunity, though you have to prove
that you're a student.
It's not just coming and say, I'm a student. No.
So if you are 46 and you're still pursuing you,
yes, as long as you provide proof that you are enrolled and you're a student. Yeah.
I feel like everyone is going to be a student.
It's one of the ways to encourage people to go back to school. That actually works for us because
there's a big discount.
There's a very big discount.
Yes, there's a huge discount. But you see, if you want to belong to the organization and you know that I benefit from this organization, and you're 46 years old, like you said, it's not something you're doing it for yourself if you pay the $200. But if you're trying to cheat the organization, then you're not going to benefit. You're not helping the organization move forward, by trying to cheat and say you are 46 years old and I'm a student, because you just want to take, take advantage of that loophole. So,
It is US. We are looking for loopholes everywhere. That's how this country runs.
And that's how also, if you identify the loophole, you try to work on it, and then you close the loophole.
Yeah.
Who are the Iteso people? Are they Iteso?
Yes, Iteso.
The people are Iteso.
Yes, Iteso.
And the tribe is Iteso.
Yes. So let me explain it this way. The people are called Iteso. The tribe is Ateso.
Oh.
Not the language, actually. Let's put it like that. The language is called Ateso.
Okay.
Yes. And
And the tribe?
The tribe is Ateso.
And the language is Ateso.
Yes.
The people are Iteso.
Iteso, yes. If you wanna put it singular, it's Etesot. If you are male, Etesot. Etesot.
With E or A?
E.
E.
With E.
Then and it
if
ends with a T.
Yes, Atesot. It ends with a T, yes.
Okay.
Then if it's female, it's Atesot. Now this time with an A.
A-E.
Okay.
If you're male,
E is very common for us. We have like Akelo and Okelo.
So and that's you?
No, I'm not saying.
No. Like that's the Ateso.
So
Ateso, that's female.
Atesot.
Okay.
Yes, Atesot is female. Etesot is male. But remember,
and the people are
Iteso. In plural.
So the names you mentioned, Okelo, Akelo, are those names for the Iteso?
Some.
Just
so we know
so many.
These names do confuse, because our brothers in northern Uganda, they also have those names.
Same names.
But it depends how those names are given. The way we name our kids based on those names is quite different on how they name their kids.
So where are you located?
We the Iteso or Teso region?
The Teso region. Isn't it the Iteso?
Yes, it's the Iteso. So I'll just give a brief history. So we are believed to have originally migrated from Djibouti and Ethiopia.
Okay.
That's where we believe we migrated from.
To be specific, from Abyssinia.
I mean, it used to be Abyssinia. It's now Ethiopia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when we migrated in Uganda, we settled in a number of places. You have districts like Soroti. Have you heard of that?
Yes, I've been there.
You have Palisa district.
I've been there.
You have Kumi. Partly in Tororo too. And then now we have other districts that have come up now. You have Bukedia, you have Serere. Then you also have places like Kabera Maido. Those are all places that Iteso settled. And then also when you cross over to Western Kenya, we have Iteso people in Kenya too, on the western side.
Like in Busia.
So that is like the northeast. That's the northeast corridor.
Northeastern part of Uganda.
Yes, northeast. Obviously, we also have our cousins and brothers that the Karamojong. I think you know those.
Yeah.
The Iteso are mainly people who were farmers and cattle keepers. Although the cattle keeping these days is kind of
originally what were they?
Originally they were cattle keepers.
Because you can't be originally two things.
Yes, they were originally cattle keepers and farmers.
But these days they are doing more farming.
More farming than the cattle keeping. There's a lot of history around that, but originally we were cattle keepers.
With cattle keepers, I see guns.
So the story of that one is quite very complicated. There was a lot of politics into that, and maybe also the other reason why we lost that status of being cattle keepers. It's all revolves within politics. So our cousins, the KGs, the Karamojongs,
Jongs.
yeah. So they overpowered us. They had access to guns. And, as for them, they believe that all cows belong to them. So they feel like they have the right and authority to go wherever they want and pick up any cow and take it back to where it belongs. So that's why we have always had those misunderstandings with them. And then guns, how it came that almost most people in Teso and northern Uganda had guns. It's because the government thought people complaining of their cows being stolen and what, they can have guns and protect themselves, and which never solved anything. Instead, made the issue worse. But if you go back in history, we are believed to be cattle keepers, and then as time went on, we turned to be advanced farmers actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have so many plantations that side. You're doing commercial farming. How is
Yes.
that working for the tribe?
Well, not so good so far. The challenge we have in Teso is that sometimes we get faced with a lot of drought, and that has really affected the kind of farming that we're trying to do over there. Although the land itself is really suitable, if you go to Teso, you can drive miles and miles and you see flat land.
Yeah.
Land that is totally suitable for farming. But because of the challenges of climate change now, you see that the farming is not as prosperous as it used to be those days. So that's one of the major challenges that is facing the region right now.
The central tribes normally enjoy matoke. What do the Teso people?
Yeah, for us, what we would call our local
Staple food.
staple food, it's atapa, made out of millet and a mixture of cassava. And
Akalo.
and then
Okay.
ginat paste.
Akalo is atapa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The sauce would be ginat paste mixed with any other. It can be fish, dry, meat, can be mukene. So, but our staple food is atapa. And
Atapa is
Akalo.
akalo.
is that how it's called in
Yes.
Ateso?
Yeah, atapa.
Okay.
Atapa.
When you go there, you don't say I want kalo.
They don't know what
You have
kalo
to
is.
say I want atapa.
Atapa.
And then our special drink is ajono.
Marua.
What most Ugandans know as marua.
Ajono.
Yes. Actually,
ajono.
Marua originated from Teso.
Yeah.
Do you know how Marua is made?
I think I I can't incriminate myself. But I think I do. Well, I grew up seeing millet
Yeah.
being dried
Transformed.
and yeah. So I think I saw some of the processes, but I know it's it's consumed when it's hot,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
And it's through like straws. Are they called straws?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
And,
called a pea in Iteso.
Okay, and then and then from a pot,
Yes.
clay pot.
Yes.
I think the clay pot maintains the temperature.
Yes. Oh well, I mean,
It's
more of what we used to have those days, because these days they use different containers to consume it. But I think the pot is originally the main thing that was used because of the culture.
The way it's structured, I think it's embedded into the culture.
Into the culture, yes.
Yeah,
It's more about
that's why the ajono, it's one of the respected booze or drink because it has got some rules that govern it.
Oh yeah.
Even that tube,
Uh-huh.
you don't just handle it anyhow.
Yeah.
There's somewhere you have to handle it. There is
Like
a
to
way.
hold it.
There is a way you shake it. So if you sit as a group, they give you a fine. They give you a fine.
What would that be? Like
So let me assume you, because the reason why they call it special, it's also delicate. Let's say you have a tube, you keep shaking it.
okay.
That means you're going to dilute it.
Dilute the what?
The drink itself, it's supposed to be thick from the beginning up to the end.
Okay.
But the more you shake it, you because this booze is made through fermentation, and the fermentation is continuous, even when you drink it.
Yeah.
So by shaking it, you are destabilizing the fermentation process. So you're going to kill it.
Yeah, you're only supposed to shake
to
it
prevent
if
it. If you feel your tube is stuck, and you shake it gently with love, not being rough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's cultural.
Yeah, it's cultural.
Yeah, that's.
And so how do you learn that this is how I do it? Are you given like a crash course when you come onto the? So what's that setup? How do you call it when you sit around to have that drink?
So I mean, usually when we grew up those days, you would have, when we're young, your parents would be there and they would teach you some of these things. So you grow up knowing what you need to do.
Okay.
Seated with the elders or other people around the pot, consuming the drink. So you grew up knowing what you needed to do. So it's not like, well, for somebody like you, yes, you would have to be given a crash course because you've never probably sat around people, drinking and stuff like that.
Can't come with all my coughing and then sit around and be like, oh no.
No,
that's why you have your own tube.
Tube?
Everyone is supposed to have their own tube.
Yes.
And actually, if you go back, whenever you traveled somewhere, you would go with your tube.
So if I had like say a partner, girlfriend, can she like use my tube?
That's your partner. If you can share with her a bed, why not? But you cannot share a bed with somebody.
Can she sit around with us though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it could be
But
like
in a different setting.
In a different setting, because in most cases, the women, the ladies, do not really sit with the men because
the chairs.
Yeah, the men originally in the culture would sit on the chairs, then the ladies would sit on the ground, on either a mat or something separately from them, but nearby, but separate from
also having their own drink.
Yeah, also having
all straws coming out of the same drink.
But things have started changing nowadays. Though they can't sit on the chair, but they can sit down on the mat, but next to you.
Yeah, next to the pot.
Yeah. Next to the pot, but also next to you.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. Yeah. Is that because of like the modernization?
I think so.
Have they noticed that some things need to change?
Let me tell you, things change slowly without our notice. By the time you start complaining, it's already embedded into the culture.
Yeah, so a lot of things have changed in the culture.
And that's why this association, INAA, is more important, to try and say, okay, we understand that things are changing, but we don't have to lose our values and morals that we had. It's like maintaining the status quo rather than losing the status.
There are things that define a culture, like food, ceremonies, the dances that you have. How do we call the Iteso dance? Every time I butcher, you let me know because you let me know because like I said, I'm learning.
Well, to be honest, I don't know what the name of the dance is, but I know we have a dance.
Kadodi is not from...
No, that's Bugisu.
That's Bugisu, okay.
Yeah, that's Bugisu.
Though we have some few instruments that we value, like akogo. If akogo, I don't know
akogo,
the one they use, it's made out of wood, and then with
okay,
they play it like this. Then plus adungu too. adungu.
Yes.
They have big adungus and small ones.
Okay.
We use those ones to
And
produce
the
sound
tube
and
fiddle.
music.
Yeah,
And then we use calabashes too with.
I have seen that.
Yeah, so those are the instruments that we use for
Oh,
music. Then plus drums too. Though the
so
type of a dance, to be honest, I
is it
personally,
a jumping dance?
Yes,
If
it involves jumping. Yes.
yeah, if you combine all those instruments, I think I've seen those instruments
Yes.
combined with a
But
jumping dance.
the major one is the one
most
you talked
people know
about,
the
akogo.
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 Yeah, most
That's
people know of
really like
akogo.
I've tried playing it when I was still in school.
How was it?
That's why my nail is like this.
yes. You gotta
You
know how to
ended up
use
losing
your
a nail and
I lost a nail.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, but then talking about the culture, just without the dance too, there are things that obviously uh really relating to what is so like the staple food we talked about.
Mhm,
Then we talked about ajono,
mhm,
the marua drink.
mhm.
That's also Iteso. The other thing is, obviously, in our culture, when you talk about things like marriage, we do have bride
Ceremonies,
price.
yeah.
I was coming to that.
Yes, we have bride price. You gotta pay, especially you gotta bring a number of cows.
A number of cows.
Yes,
What do you mean a number of cows?
it depends. Because depends on how the family actually says. Because some of the families believe that their girl is precious, and therefore they want you to bring 10 cows. Another family will tell you bring 20 cows. Another one will tell you 30 cows, plus some goats and some
Oh,
money too.
cows are not enough.
Yeah, you gotta bring. Actually, usually with the marriage ceremony in Teso, you bring cows, you bring goats, and you bring a little bit of money too. Those are the two. Those are the major items.
Why not sell the cows that you're supposed to bring? Save yourself the transportation cost and then just bring a briefcase of money.
It's cultural.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cultural.
Can I?
It's like when you go to Ankole, they give you cows. So it's cultural too. So you don't you don't just come with money and say we've calculated this and this and then we give you. No, you gotta actually bring the cows physically.
I think I've been to an event where everything was calculated into money. Was that just for convenience purposes?
That is probably just changing now
Because they're
because
like,
of
hey, I think that event it was like, hey, we asked for 15 cows. Like, yeah, here's your 15 cows. There was an envelope written 15 cows. Every cow was estimated to be about 3.5.
yeah.
And then they're like, okay, 15, that's this much. They counted, like, yeah, we have our 15 cows.
Yes. So that is probably happening now because
Mhm.
of the changes in the culture. But originally you would come. Okay, you don't have to come with the cows immediately, but when you go to the function, they will tell you how many cows that you need to bring. And then those cows, if they're at your place, you would either send somebody or whoever it is to, bring them down here.
Put them on a truck and then,
Truck or not even a truck, just usually they send a guy to come footing with the cows.
okay.
So he brings the cows up to where exactly the marriage function happened, to pay for the bride price. So with this issue of counting money and stuff like that is probably just changing now
Okay.
because obviously there's not a lot of cows now in Teso. We
Mhm.
still have cows though, but there's not a lot. Then it's making it more convenient now that instead of me having to bring cows down a path, maybe 10 kilometers away from here, why don't I just give you guys money? Then you can go and maybe purchase the cows. That's just happening now. But originally,
You had to bring the cow
you had to bring the cows
along with
physically,
the goats.
along with the goats. Yes,
No
depending
sheep.
on not sheep. Nah, I don't
You
know.
bring what they have told you to
Yeah, what they
Okay.
have told you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and there are a lot of factors that are now leading up to all these changes. Let me give you an example. For example, yes, I would love you to bring cows if you want to take my daughter so that everyone witnesses that so and so brought cows. But let's ask ourselves now, having less land, we are overpopulated now. Where are you going to put those cows? How are you going to feed them? So that's one of the challenges too.
So it's better you bring them.
So if you can, it's an agreement between you and the family. If they say they want money, they want money. But culturally, you'd bring physical cows
Okay.
and goats.
And
we also provide kanzo, by the way.
It's
part and a hoe.
And
a hoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are a number of different things depending on the family.
Yeah.
If you go, there are a number of things they will ask you to do. So, because for example, in one of the most unique things that I remember was like when you're going, say I'm coming to your place and I'm the one who wants to marry your daughter. Before I even step in the compound, I have to first pay some amount of money, what they used to call ichakalaro. I have to first pay you some money before I step in the compound. So there are a number of steps to the whole thing, but that culture now is obviously is getting diluted by a number of factors. So yeah.
Still on that issue of the
cultural identity.
Yeah. Do you have like two ceremonies like this in the central, like the Baganda do? Like they have, I think they have like Okuchala and introduction.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do have introductions.
Nokchala, even Nokchala is there.
Yeah, we do have that. We do have naming your kid. Yeah,
That's a ceremony.
Yeah, so when a kid is born, actually the kid stays indoors like for 2 weeks. There was a reason, 2 weeks or a month. And then the day the kid is being brought out or named, we also perform a certain ritual to give the kid the name.
The king is born without a name.
Were you born with a name?
I think my parents got a name.
They gave you the name.
Yeah. Like of course I was born from a hospital.
Nowadays a kid is born and given a name at the hospital, right?
Yeah, of course I was born in a hospital.
The reason for that is a lot of things are happening now.
Yeah.
So and so has stolen somebody's kid immediately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason. And then the certificate, even your birth certificate, is being issued now and then. During those days, there were no birth certificates, and the only thing was worry is somebody doing something to your kid. That was the reason why the kid was kept separate for some good time. And then they have to initiate the name. And the way we named our kids depended. We didn't have a specific saying that, oh, we're going to name our kid based on this. Nowadays, we name kids based on the season of the year, maybe based on the catastrophe, or maybe based on our ancestors. So it's not specific that we like. I know the Baganda name their kids based on their ancestors, but for us, we consider season of the year.
So you are Ojimam.
I'm Ojimam, yeah.
Ojimam.
Ojimam. Yeah.
And you are
Edicut. Yes.
Do they have like meanings or is they just names?
No, so mine, for example, is a plant. It's a very tall plant that has fruits, and those who know, especially in the areas of Soroti, it's not so common in Komi, but it's so common in Soroti, that plant. So it grows so tall and it has fruits. And that fruit is, I think, orange. I don't know what color. I think it's orange.
Medium.
But it's a very hard, it's a very hard fruit. And if you want to eat it, when it falls down,
if it hits you,
it's a very hard fruit. If it falls down, you can't actually go up and get it. You have to wait.
You have to wait until it falls
down. So because it's the plant is more or less like what are those things in Jamaica? Palm tree. Yeah, it's like a palm tree. So when it falls down, it's still a very hard fruit. So what you gotta do if you wanna eat it, you have to bang it down.
Okay, is it echinazi?
Nah,
I
it's not
don't
a
know.
chinas. It's small. This one is big. It's like could be the size of your head. It's big.
Okay,
So when it falls down, you have to
coconut.
take it. It's like a coconut, exactly. It's like a coconut, but for it, it's orange in color when it's ready.
Okay,
Yeah. So when it falls down, you gotta get it, bang it on the floor to make it soft. Then it opens up, and then you
I
kind
eat
of
it.
yeah.
And the name of the tree, that's your name,
Exactly.
Ojimam.
Actually, for me, I've never bothered to ask the meaning of my name
You
because
don't?
my name is rare.
Okay.
It's rare.
And so going back to the ceremonies, I wanted to ask, do you see a girl walking by and be like, yeah, I think I should marry her? And then you go to the parents,
Visit. Yes.
you visit the parents.
Mhm.
Does she have to have a say in the whole process?
The girl, or
The
Yeah.
girl.
uh,
What do you mean say?
Like, if you like her, does she have to like you?
Of course.
of course, it's a mutual agreement between you
Yeah.
and things have changed. Previous, like any other culture or tribe, there used to be forced marriages whereby a girl would be given out without her consent to whom is she is gonna be with.
Yeah.
But nowadays things have changed.
Yeah.
Definitely, you have to have a mutual understanding between the two patterns before your families get to know.
It's not forced.
And also, like me, if I wanted to go and introduce myself to my wife's family, I would have it's not me physically going there, but I would have to have a messenger, someone to take the information.
Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense if I go there and say I want to come, and then the day of coming they say you pay the money for stepping into the gates of the family of the other family. So yeah, yeah. So culture wise, some things are similar with
Other
other
tribes?
Yeah.
tribes.
A number
Some
of
things
things. Yes.
are different. And going back to the other question you asked, like, do you have to come with food? Um, not saying that I'm boasting, but if you read the history of Uganda, um, the Iteso were regarded as complete farmers. And when I say complete farmers, it's a tribe that would do both. They were cattle keepers and also agriculturalists. So most of the families were self-sustained. If you are the host, you're gonna feed. And I can tell you this, in the early 80s and 90s, when you go for Christmas festival or holiday festivals, someone who had, like, let's say his 9 kids or sons, they would feast from 22nd up to 22nd of January. That's to tell you how self-sustainable people were at that time. That food was there to eat, drink every day for almost a month non-stop.
So there's no
There
bring.
was a need to bring,
No bring food.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, do the does it also have kings? A king, I'll say.
Yes, we do have our leader.
You have a leader.
Yes.
It's
Though
called a Morimor.
he's called Emoromo. Though when you say king, that term is used in different ways, because maybe in terms of easy understanding.
A king
But
is not elected.
a king is not elected;
Yeah.
he is
It's
hereditary.
hereditary.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and however, in Teso, we elect our leader, who would be like, let's say, chief.
Mm.
Yeah, because We don't have the lineage or the hereditary thing that the king has to come specifically from a certain clan.
Yeah.
So you're saying you can go back and become a leader.
Yes.
If I have the qualifications and people believe in me,
You can.
and I'm also willing, yes.
You don't have to be like the elder of the clan.
Those are the qualifications.
Well,
I'm saying.
obviously, a young person like him might not be.
Those are the
selected.
qualifications I'm saying. I think if you have the qualifications, people believe in you, and you're also willing. So there are certain criteria you have to fulfill.
To fulfill
Okay.
it
Yeah.
before you are actually selected. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not hereditary like it is in Buganda, that it is in the lineage of Ronald Mwenda Mutebi, the Mutesas, that family. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Though we
that's
have,
what it
yeah,
is.
we have our leader, our king, or we call him our chief, and our headquarters are in Soroti.
He goes by Chief.
Emorimor.
Chief
Emorimor. Yes.
Chief Emorimor or Emorimor?
Just
Emorimor is the
Emorimor
title.
is the
Is the
title.
title.
Like
yes.
the way you would say Kabaka.
Kabaka, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for us, we call him Emorimor. Papa Sunday.
Emorimor.
Yeah, Emorimor. And our slogan, like the way you say Kabaka Wangare Bra, for us we got Emuria Koliai.
Which means?
Emuria Koliai, do you know this grass? How do they call it? Coach grass?
Is it coach grass? So it's this kind of grass that creeps. So when it grows, it creeps around the whole area.
Nanda.
Remember, when
Something
you walk,
like that.
maybe it can get your leg and then you fall down.
Yes.
So it spreads.
Oh,
So
okay.
It spreads
So
from
that's Emuriai. Then Koliai means spreading.
spreading. Yes. So you spread the culture.
Yeah.
That's what it means. Emuria Koliai. So that Emuria is that grass. But when it's growing, it grows while creeping all over the whole place. So by saying Emuria Koliai, you're spreading the culture and the love of the people of Teso.
The way how Muganda would say Wakabaka Bukolechi, Buangale.
Buangale, something like that. But Buangale is different. Koliai is spreading. Kuangala is living longer. Something like
longer.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we do have our leaders, and also the kingdom also is led. They have a committee, the ministers. The Emoromori doesn't work alone. Yeah, he has got his advisors.
And so now that you mentioned that, is INAA, the organization, affiliated to the chiefdom.
So, like I
Teso.
said, we are subjects of the kingdom or the chiefdom. Yes, we believe in Teso and the kingdom itself. However, we again emphasize that we are not going to be influenced
by
by
the
kingdom. We can support the kingdom because there's a reason why we try to be realistic with our viewers, because a lot of associations have come before us and they have fallen because of such a thing. So we don't want to repeat those mistakes. But that doesn't mean that we do not support the kingdom. We are into the kingdom.
You are independent from the kingdom.
Yes. We want to work with the kingdom to support the people of Teso.
Yeah, but also to add on to that, so INAA is just an organization we registered late last year. So it's barely, you could say barely a year old. So we cannot really tell you about how strong our affiliation with the kingdom is as of now, because we've just registered and we're trying to, it's a child. We're trying to grow this child And obviously, as subjects of the chiefdom, we are already affiliated to it automatically.
Yeah.
But our cooperation with the kingdom so far hasn't yet, borne any fruit. That's what I can say.
Have you established any connection with the kingdom?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we do have current communications going on with the kingdom, and actually we invited Our Highness to be our guest of honor.
Who is that now?
Our Emormo. So
I keep on saying
Mm.
chiefdom, kingdom, tribe. It's tribe. Which is the right term?
Chiefdom.
you say chiefdom.
Chiefdom.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Because
for
if you
our-
say kingdom, that means you need to have a king.
Mm,
But ours is not a king.
He's a chief.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a chief. Exactly.
So the chiefdom.
Yes.
You've already established connections with the chiefdom, and now yours is not a king. Is
Because it's not
highness.
hereditary.
yeah, it's to make it simple.
So now that's a new term you've introduced. It's I thought it's related with kings and queens.
Yes, but however, when you go into kingdom and chiefdom, when you have a king, like the British,
Uh-huh.
you see that when the Queen died recently, King Charles took over because he's from the same family. If King Charles dies right now, we already know who is going to take over.
Somehow, yes.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
But for us, that's not how it happens.
So His Highness.
Yes.
Is it a title for a chief too?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've already invited His Highness.
So we are still waiting for the response, but we are in touch with his team.
Let's talk about the conference. When is it?
So INAA is going to host its second convention, which will be in Boston on from July 19th to July 22nd. And it will be hosted in Sheraton, Framingham, not the Boston one, but the one in Framingham.
I know it. It has like a stone brick, a stone.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
With a nice architecture.
With very old architecture.
Mm-hmm. But they
it's very nice inside.
They are renovating it.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
It's very old, a very old building. But I think most of the buildings here are very old.
In Boston.
It is nice though. Yeah.
So for members, they will have to register, pay 160 for inner members.
Mm-hmm.
For those who have fully subscribed as members. And then if you are not a member or a well-wisher, you will be paying 250. That's early registration.
Mm-hmm.
And a vendor, you only have to pay $350 for a vendor.
Okay.
Yeah. With the exception of vendor, the rest after February 26th, early registration ends. And then we will have a new price.
New price.
Yeah. So please, if you are to register, use this opportunity. Register before the deadline of February 28th.
If somebody wants to come from outside US, do you have invitation options?
Yes, we do have that provision, and we really encourage and welcome whoever wants to come and join us, share our culture, have some good time with us. You are all welcome. Whether you're from Uganda, Kenya, we have a provision whereby we can try and facilitate your process of visa acquisition, though we want to be specific and say we don't have any determination when it comes to issuing visa. We only help you with some documentation and the process, but we do not decide whether or guarantee you will have to get a visa, a USA visa, because nowadays things are complicated. But we do have all those provisions.
Same price.
Same price, same fee.
You mentioned people from Kenya, and you also mentioned that you Teso people cross the border. Are there your brothers and sisters on the other side of the border also part of this organization?
That's 100% correct. When we serve Teso region,
It is Teso, whether
it's
in
Teso.
Uganda or
Whether
Kenya.
in Uganda or Kenya, as long as you got the roots of Teso, you are an Iteso.
We speak the same language.
You do?
The difference is that when you find some, like for example, an Iteso person from Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
the difference might only be in terms of the accent.
Yeah.
You find that, like for example, if you go to Tororo and you find somebody from Soroti, it's the same language. It's just the difference in the accent. It's like how you find, say, a Munyankore
Mm-hmm.
and the Muchiga. The language is probably almost the same, but the accent is different and the pronunciation of some of the words is different. But it's the same language.
And the energy.
Yes.
Yeah, you have said it the right way. And the energy too.
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't matter where you are as long as you have the roots.
Yes.
You are part of this organization.
Yes, you are.
So this is the first organization I've had outside Uganda of the Teso people.
Yeah, that's true because I don't know if there's any other registered ITES organization.
If it's there, we
If
don't
it's
know
there,
about
we
it.
don't know about it.
If you find one, do you plan to join hands?
Sure. Why not? Because it's embedded into our constitution that we have to work with the Iteso community and other local organizations from Uganda for the benefit of all.
A community from, let's say, from Europe reaches out like, hey, we've seen this and we want to have something similar. Can you help us start? Is that something you?
Why not?
Yes.
It's not a competition. It's all about putting brains and hands together for a common goal or purpose. And mind you, most of the times these organizations are initiated by either individuals or a group of people. But remember, at one time too, when it comes time, you're the initiator, you have to leave and go, but the organization stands. That's how it should be.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's no reason why you can say no to someone who is seeking help, and yet you have the provisions of providing that help. Because the end goal is the results of the association are going to help people, and which is what we all want champion.
Besides that, we also plan to grow this thing to become bigger. And so, if there is a group of people that is somewhere that is having the similar kind of idea and goal, so joining together obviously makes us bigger and better. So, if there's any groups out there that maybe have their own organization and we didn't know about them, so they're welcome. We can join hands together, form something bigger, and see how we can move forward, or maybe work together. So all the doors are open for anybody who is out there and willing to join.
The only way to find you is through the website.
Several ways. So nowadays we have social media, but we would prefer a website because it's more detailed. If you don't mind, I can provide you with our link. You can go to www.inaonline.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iteso of North America
Yeah.
Association.
I think I'll put that in the description.
Yeah.
Yes.
www.inaonline.org.
.org.
Yeah.
INAA is INAA. INAA.
And do you take donations?
We are planning to have that provision. Since this is the first year, we don't want to scare people.
Okay.
You know, most people, when you start something and you say donation, question mark.
Yeah.
So we want to first show people that subscription through members, real members, makes us strong, and it's what's building the project to go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I always ask where donations are involved, is the organization a 501c?
Exactly 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Non-for-profit.
Is there anything that you want to conclude with?
Yes. So first of all, let me thank to all our listeners, our brothers and sisters, my fellow Iteso, well-wishers, friends. Please come join us on July 19th to 22nd. INAA is bringing the Iteso convention. Come, let's celebrate Teso culture. Come, let's have Teso food, drinks, share memories. Come, let's share ideas. And also, our theme will be empowering youth development in Teso. So we encourage you all to come and support us. Whether you are an Iteso, a Muganda, Munyankola, Mutoro, Muchiga, Kumam, Acholi, Langi, you are all invited. Please, I kindly ask you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. So I'll just say exactly what he said. Katonga kere opotubereso convention law atomana kanyangon tuna kaisara January, July of this year. Opotu, let's get together. Let's get to know each other. Let's try and make sure that the Iteso of North America take a leap forward into becoming a better and bigger organization. Thank you.
All the best in the conference, and please, so for those who want more links about the organization, please find them in the description. I will make sure to provide everything they give me. If you have stuck around till the end of the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, and if you haven't yet subscribed, why not? Please do subscribe, share the video, and if you need more content, there is a video right here so that we can stick together for a little bit longer.